Hi everyone, this is Caroline reminding you that you are created beautifully. This video is for the moms and the dads or whoever's at home with the children. This video is all about surviving the summer. Hold on, let me just take a drink. Summer months are long and summer months are so fun. Your kids could be like my kids, super sad, they won't go back to school. I never remember being like that, to be honest. But you have some kids that do have that sadness. So how do you feel today's your last day of school?
Terrible.
Why?
I miss my teacher.
You miss your teacher? What else?
I'm missing my friends.
Uh-huh. Is there anything else?
And I miss my art teacher and my music teacher.
You have chocolate on your mouth, girl.
And I also miss my librarian.
Okay, how are you feeling today's your last day of school?
Okay.
You feel okay?
I mean, it's awesome, but there are a lot of friends that I won't see during the summer.
Uh-huh.
I might see my teacher,
Okay.
but I might not. I'm getting way older. I want to be young.
Excuse me?
I want to be younger. Now I'm old.
You're old. Oh, how old are you again?
9.
Oh, that's so old. Then you have parents that are super duper excited, like feeling it, just don't want to do the school lunches anymore, don't want to pack the snacks, don't want to get out of the car at 8 a.m. or do the pickups at 2 p.m., 3 o'clock. You know the drill. Or get their school clothes ready. I mean, going to school and doing homework and doing homework and doing more homework. The summer is all about fun. But if you're anything like me, sometimes the joy of it quickly goes away when you go through the routine of it. So here are 5 of my tips of surviving the summer with your kids. Tip number 1. If it's in your power and financially you can do it, go ahead and get your kids into week camps. I know YMCA does them, the city does them, and one that I'm totally promoting are vacation Bible schools. Look, you don't have to know Jesus, you don't have to love Jesus, you don't even have to like Jesus. Most vacation Bible schools are free. I said it, free, and oftentimes they'll have a snack. I wish I would have posted this video up earlier. My church, Abundant Life Christian Fellowship, is hosting a VBS this week in the evenings. Perfect for date nights, perfect for alone time. Why I'm encouraging this first tip is because you know what? It gets exhausting to be with your kids 24 hours a day if you're not used to it, especially if you're not homeschool moms. I would promote those. And what I did for my city, I just moved into it. I went into Google, I put in my city, and I put vacation Bible schools. A lot of them will also offer scholarships because some of them do charge, but it is so small in comparison to some of these bigger camps. Now, even the YMCA will offer scholarships for those who apply for them. So that would be my first tip. Give yourself a break for at least 1 week of the summer vacation. Tip number 2, keep those kids moving. For those of you who are on the health journey like I am, my kids have become my workout partners. I said it, I'm hiking at 6 a.m. I'm taking one of these kids with me. You don't want your kids on the screen the entire summer. You don't even want them on the screen for much of the summer. Get your kids, incorporate them into your lifestyle of getting healthy and being active. And remember what the doctor says, each child should have at least 1 hour of outside play. So work around having play dates work around going hiking, exploring. The beaches are always fun. So get your kids moving and active. Play with them. You are also burning calories at the same time. Tip number 3, having a flexible schedule. This is really important because a lot of times you're gonna plan play dates, movie dates, all kind of dates, but oftentimes people will have to cancel. This is a good rule and a hard rule that I had to learn, is teaching my kids to be flexible. I am not a person that's very flexible. I feel like when I make a commitment, I'd like to stick to it as much as possible. But you know what? That's not realistic. That's not the real world. I think the earlier we get our kids to understand that things happen, they are better off. So keeping a flexible schedule. But I would recommend that in this flexible schedule, being very spontaneous. Hey kids, we're having a picnic at the park. Being spontaneous is all of a sudden they just end up at the beach. That's one of my kids' favorite places to be, but you know your kids. Be spontaneous, be fun. Let this be a time where you are building memories with your kids. One year, what we did is we had a whole week long of camping indoors. We set up our tent in the living room. We got s'mores. We watched movies. At night, we would put on the screen where it was like a fire. Be creative. Have fun with it. Be spontaneous and have a flexible schedule. Also, look out to see if your city has movie nights or music in the park. These are some fun and spontaneous things that you can do in the evenings. Usually they happen every week, so check it out. And these things are all free. Tip number 4, don't neglect your kids' schoolwork. A fun place to take your kids in the summer is your city library. Oftentimes they will have story times, or they'll have movie times, or they will have open displays of Legos, painting, crafts. Utilize your city library. You also want to make sure that your kids are continuing to reinforce the things that they have already learned at school. This is something I'm so thankful that another parent shared with me. If your child is going into the 3rd grade, they need to know their multiplications. My 2nd grade teacher did not mention this to me. And I'm so glad that we took that summer to work on my child's multiplication because it really set them up. Indeed, the first day of school, the teacher did this spontaneous multiplication test. My son said half the class had no clue on what multiplication is, which is basically adding faster. Go ahead and get workbooks. Make time, not anything crazy. You're not going through a whole regimen of turning into a homeschool mom, but you do want your kids to retain what they have learned. And it doesn't hurt to go ahead and peek through on what they're going to learn next year so that your child feels prepared. It definitely builds their confidence when they go into school and are at least on target, or they are ahead of the rest of the class. My kids do workbooks 3 times to 4 times a week. And what I use that as a buffer. Definitely, this is my summer break too. So I like to sleep in. My kids know that they need to clean their rooms in the morning without disturbing me and then start their workbooks. This is something they find fun. And in their workbook, there's science discovery pages. So they're running around the kitchen finding material that they need. They do all of this before they even bother me to wake up. Win-win situation. Summer is a perfect time to reinforce some of the character that you would like to be built into your child. Kindness, respect, honesty, finding someone that's shut in, where your kids can show kindness by taking a meal over, or some of the homeless people. My kids are really big advocates of having some type of loose coins or loose cash in the car. If we see someone that's out there, they always insist that I stop. Now, my kids don't just pass out money, because money is something that I am very limited on, but they want to have eye contact. They want to know people's story. And of course, sometimes that's a scary thing. My husband has mentioned that sometimes there's a lot of human trafficking that occurs with some of these families, because a lot of times you'll see a mother, a father, and a child. So I do use wisdom, but these are human beings, God's people, that we should show respect. We should show empathy through our children. Perfect opportunity in the summer for you to build some character. Finally, tip number 5. Make sure that you have some time to be alone or to have fun with your friends. Don't make the summer all about the kids. You cannot pour into them. You cannot give to your kids something that you don't have yourself. Inner peace, having time to refocus, having time to plan, all those type of things you really want to have alone time. So I get it. A lot of people don't have babysitters. Well, take the evening time to put your kids to bed at a decent hour. I know in the summer, us parents let our kids stay up a little bit longer than their regular bedtime. But if you're those parents that don't have a lot of assistance with your kids, or don't have a lot of family around or friends who you can swap kids with throughout the summer, put your kids to bed at their regular time and use that as your alone time when they are in bed. I like to schedule time with my friends at least once or twice a week. It's a good refresher for yourself. Also, you don't want your kids to be so dependent that they don't know how to do things alone. I wish you well. Please comment below with any of your tips. I am curious, how do other parents survive the summer months? I think everybody would love to have tips on how to make it through this summer. And don't forget, if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. It's all about cleaning and organization, makeup tutorials, do it yourself, talking about your health journey and how we relate to food, and over everything, I'm all about encouraging you and reminding you that you are beautiful no matter what season you're in, no matter what shape or size you are. You're created beautiful because that's the way God made you. God bless you all. Bye. Hey everybody. Hey. Is it working? Is the volume working? How do you know if the volume's working? Stop it and review it, just because some